All I want you to do then is introduce yourself. Why are you important?
Yeah, why are you?
What do you do? Why are you here?
I'm radio, I make things.
Thank you. That's good.
Also, Eno's.
I'm the one who keeps, from going insane.
Yes, this is Eno's fiance.
Fiance, almost husband.
Soon to be husband.
Please win.
Did you bring enough to share with everyone?
No.
Yes, radio has a booth in the dealer's room and is the closest thing to offering official licensed branded merchandise of the Dutch Angel Dragon species.
Quote unquote official.
You can verify this. The broken arrow in the logo, the Skyper logo. Which horse did that belong to?
Sky.
Ah!
Sky.
Yay! You know the thing!
Which is why it's for Sky Pro.
That makes sense.
Okay.
That's right.
Anyways, what is a Dutch Angel Dragon? I am just reading off script. Let's go.
No, what is Angel Dragon
Yeah.
species? That's the one.
Page number 2.
That's the one I just read.
Okay, fine.
Professionals,
3. Yes. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
I can read. I can read.
I tore it apart.
Okay, are you reading this?
Ah, fine.
Go.
Okay, so as a species, the Dutch Angel by Ping.
Not you. All right.
So, what makes a character the Dutch Angel Dragon? Combination of two things: their physical appearance and their lore. The lore is the biggest thing behind the Dutch Angel Dragon. The reason why the Dutch ADs is a species is because of the physical attributes and the story behind it, which is what separates it from a dragon. We'll get to that later. Basic lore. There really isn't an origin story yet. We're still working on that.
Yeah, we're kind of.
Still kind of a secret right now. Stay tuned.
They're just awesome. They appear.
Yeah.
They have appeared.
That's the part we're focusing on the most right now.
We're still going
We're
through
not
the
allowed
old
to say
scrolls.
anything because
We're still going through the old scrolls from
That's right.
their history, and we're still finding them.
Yeah.
still deciphering.
There's
So
an expedition in Costco right now looking
Oh my
for
god.
another one.
We need a Dutch Angel Dragon writing now.
right.
They don't have thumbs.
But
They
they can do
ah,
this.
see?
Yeah, see, they can do this.
Yeah, that's what claw right. Claw right.
Ah.
See, okay.
Yeah.
So as far as the Dutch Angel Dragons themselves, they are not physical, tangible things, except for in very rare occasions, and it's to usually manipulate an object or a host if you want to go so far. Creepy girls coming into these. No, they're more like poltergeists. They manipulate things around us. For example, telephone rings like a telephone because that's kind of the object that she likes to mimic or likes to inhabit or likes to, however, whatever your headcanon is for that, it's in relation to an object or something that they are attracted to, however the case may be, however you want your character to be designed around. Again, we'll go over that later.
A good example, if you've seen Ghost Adventures and you hear the theories behind the ghosts and poltergeists and stuff like that and how they move things around and using energy, think like that.
Yeah, basically balls of energy that have a semi-corporeal form that basically become attached to humans or objects to be protective of or to just cause chaos, like me. So yeah, they basically walk among us. Some in the scriptures, they have been classified as guardian angels. Other times they've been called as poltergeists. For the more creative and more mischievous of them all. We'll kind of go over to a lot of this later, but they live in a specific dimension. We have our dimension, right? And there's 4, 5, and 6. Well, in the story, we are on Terra, something similar to what we know as Earth, maybe a little bit different. There is the Aether, the Paradise, and the Abyss, and between these realms is where the supernatural exists, and that's where you will find your Dutch Angel Dragons. So, like many poltergeists and ghosts, they pull energy from surrounding objects to make themselves a little bit more visible, materialize, interface with certain objects, the tingly feeling in the back of your neck when you enter a haunted house, that sort of thing. That's usually their message of letting us know that they're around for the story.
Yeah, they have abilities such as flight, elemental powers, and they are essentially immortal. They can reincarnate themselves and change their physical appearance over time in their life.
My Twitter is
Don't mind us, we're just.
We have to go quick. We're going to make this into like a meet and a photo shoot and everything. Questions, mostly that's like important. Go, quick.
Questions.
Sorry. Okay.
Page 4, right?
Yes, this
All
is page
right,
4.
good.
I can read that
No,
right there.
it's page 8.
Dutch Angel Dragons as characters. Dutch Angel Dragons are an open but regulated species. That's why we're here. With established phenotypes. We can talk more about the phenotypes later. In a
why it's
little bit.
important.
In order to be considered a Dutch Angel Dragon, they are required to have all the following physical traits, which is horse-like anatomy, found in the overall body and facial structure. Feathered wings, no genitalia, or digestive tract, as they are sexless and genderless. Supernatural beings. Long ears, and primarily furry coats.
Funny how that works.
Although they usually have sharp teeth, they also have a layout of the spacing, which you can see kind of right here.
It's a
There's
tiny
spacing.
picture, I apologize.
Yeah.
Printing is expensive.
And many dragons will have feather accents, horns. I can show it here. I have feathers, horns,
Oh, there you go.
claws. I don't have claws. They have claws. Hooves or paws, which they can have either both or basically. I've seen some with like paw toes and then like the hooves.
Floppers.
Yeah, like those things like together.
Flappers.
Yeah. But yeah, they have like both the paw, toes, and the hooves. And then they have tails, but the attributes are not required, and are often included for functional reasons as dictated by their environment. So like if you're in the water, you have more fins, which mine does. You can't really see yours right now. There you go, fins.
I'm glad there's nothing on
Yeah, there's no water.
Water, speaking of.
A lot of consideration and care went into the unique anatomy of the species, thanks to Sniper.
This is Sniper's artwork. It is gorgeous.
Every bone, muscle, and detail was considered, and we released a very special pamphlet at Anthrocon this year, which we do have. There you go. We got a pamphlet.
Ooh, ah.
And it's a Dutch Angel Dragon field
It
guide.
is the field guide.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff in it. Well, I think we should think about doing it at MFF to hand out more of those.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely want to do that, for sure. There's a lot of things we want to do at MFF. MFF and Anthrocon are our big needs, but here you can get a preview. This will be available to download online pretty soon, but it's the most thorough, in-depth, detailed thing that you can possibly think of for all of your Dutch Angel Dragon anatomy needs.
Questions?
Yeah, so you can either get it online eventually soon.
And yes, you can take a look at this at the
After.
end after. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll do the muzzle rings. Let's do that. Muzzle
Yeah,
rings are my
you're
favorite
good
topic.
at
Because I see
Why?
it all the time. And I was the one that made the guides, and people
Go for it.
People go to me.
This is
about
your
it.
moment.
Yeah, this is my moment. Dutch Angel Dragons also have the ability to change their markings throughout their lives. So that's basically a good example is Click. As she kind of grew up, essentially, her markings have changed. So this is basically her final form. Yeah, but you haven't seen.
Until the next final.
Yeah, until the next final form. They're often based on colors and patterns that appeal most to them, which I'm circus themed.
And I'm
There's a
based
lot
off of
themes.
black-billed magpie.
Yep.
And I am
I'm
the
based off
inverse
of
of a
Bantha.
black bill.
Yep. There's a lot of
You're a
themes.
pie mag.
I am a pie mag.
Apart from one simple guideline, there is a limitation on the marking done on the muzzle ring. We define that as a band of color that visually separates the front of the nose from the rest of the face. So like, you can't really see it here, but like
Let's
if you
pretend
put it like here.
And all the way across.
I consider it something that's in front of the eyes. So if you have like a ring, something that's in front of the eyes on the muzzle, that's not okay.
Oh, we didn't go over why that is.
That's
Yeah.
the next part.
That's
We
the
will
next
go.
part.
We will go
Ah,
over it.
Yeah.
For a moment.
The reason for this is because long ago, all Dutch angel dragons were created and lived in a higher dimensional plane of existence called paradise. Every dragon had the marking in paradise, anyways. It represented their halo, so like instead of that, it's around that.
It's around that.
Around their muzzle. And their bond to the loyalty to their duties of the realm to guard, serve, and protect. So, guardian angels. Currently, Eno is in the process of writing the entire story of Telephone and the history of Dutch angel dragons, which we've already went over. 'Cause, yeah. Let's see. Don't tell anybody. Shh. As a result of all that, all the dragons lost their muzzle ring markings to symbolize the bonds that has been broken. So they can't do that anymore. Except for Telephone, because she's the exception. Yeah. And there's a whole explanation behind that too, to be revealed in time. But because of this very important element to the species' backstory, no characters other than Telephone are able to have the marking. The species has lost the ability to recreate the marking. So.
Okay, so this is the last major section about the species itself.
Should we have an intermission for a bathroom break before we started?
No.
Okay, the reason why I'm covering this one is because out of every single question that we get, this is easily the one that we are asked about the most, and that is the Dutch angel dragons versus other kinds of dragons, specifically the species or characters that are just called normal angel dragons. Before Telephone came along, the use of the term angel dragon was in existence, but it was very uncommon. Before Telephone, anything described as an angelic dragon all portrayed characters that looked nothing like Dutchies. The concept of combining anatomy from both a horse and a dragon certainly existed as well, but we've not been able to find anything to ever indicate the long, iconic ears of the Dutch angel dragon species. And it was very solidly established with the introduction of Telephone. Nothing quite looked like it prior to creation, and was ever remotely called by a similar name or combined specific features together in quite the same way. Ever since, Telephone has now become one of the most loved and recognized original characters in the whole fandom. So it should not be surprising for you to learn that there's also been an ever-growing increase of Dutch angel dragon lookalikes. This is most commonly observed not necessarily in the feral, realistic-based stylization of the species, but more in an artistic representation in the form of more like adorable chibis, very reminiscent of the style that Telephone's fursuit represents. But to make matters more confusing, most of the characters that are Telephone lookalikes actually call themselves angel dragons too, sometimes even referring to them as normal or regular angel dragons. Just to try to help clarify that there is supposed to be a difference between those characters and Dutchies, even though they can visually look identical. How can this be, and how are they different at all? That's what I want to talk about. Part of the reason this happened is because before Telephone was given a true species name, Enos just simply called it an angel dragon because people kept asking, what is it, and she didn't really have a name or way to describe it. And thus that became the original species' name way before it even had established phenotypes and a proper title, and there were originally no guidelines for the species except for literally don't copy Telephone. And there was actually a lot of rules implied or always intended to be there, such as the horse elements in the anatomy, since it was inspired by her own horse. But it was not officially listed out, it wasn't regulated. People started going nuts with designs, and it strayed really far from the idea that Eno had wanted for her species. So she kept adding a few more limitations to try to get that back on track to help ensure fairness and people aren't copying off each other and a bunch of things like that. So I want to explain what I mentioned earlier is the concept of phenotypes. Phenotypes are a composite of an organism's observable characteristics or traits, such as its morphology, development, biochemical or physiological properties, phenology, behavior, and products of behavior.
Don't worry, there's not a test on that.
Essentially, they are the guidelines laid in place to define and classify a character as a member of a common species. As soon as you stray away from the set list of phenotypes assigned to that species, you've probably created a whole new species. A relevant example of a non-phenotype species is the generic word dragon. Dragons are very loosely defined as mythological beasts and often being reptilian-like, but there's literally no other common trait that every single dragon shares. It's more of a general description to describe a concept rather than it is defining an actual species.
Specifically, like if you're thinking like an Eastern dragon, it's basically a snake with a mustache that flies through the air versus a
Western dragon.
a Western dragon, which is
European
on
dragon.
all fours with legs. So technically
Bat
that's
wings.
6 limbs versus no limbs, and they're both considered dragons, so they don't have common
So
phenotypes.
yeah, it's very hard to classify them as being members of the same species. So it's not really, the word species is kind of generally misused in the fandom specifically. So that would be a representation of a species that does not have phenotypes. But a species of a dragon, for example, the Night Fury, which is Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, they do, yes, we have our own resident Toothless. That species does have phenotypes. You can't make a Night Fury with 2 heads and still call it a Night Fury. Maybe it's a hybrid now. Maybe it's your own new made-up species, but it shouldn't be classified as a Night Fury anymore because you broke the rules of the species as it has been defined by DreamWorks. The same rule applies to labeling anything as a, quote, angel dragon. It's a label to describe a concept, but it's not a species itself. Angel dragons look like anything you imagine. They can have serpentine bodies and have a halo above their head and no ears, and you can still call it an angel dragon. But you cannot call it a Dutch angel dragon because it's missing all the phenotypes required to have that character classified as a Dutchie. So once Eno understood that there was a major problem calling the telephone just an angel dragon, she changed it to a proper species. But it might have been a little too late. The rest of the fandom didn't quite follow along or realize this change had happened. Many people didn't realize there were any rules or limitations to making characters that belong to telephone species in the first place. And then they didn't like it all of a sudden. They were told that what they could or could not do with their character in order to be official, right? So, no, I'm not going to. There also used to be an approval system where Eno herself would review every single design submitted to her and upload it to the official Furfinity page. But that quickly got way too overwhelming and she had to stop approving designs altogether and trust that people would respect her wishes and the guidelines. And approval is still not required to this day, but it is of course recommended to double check with an admin if you think your design might have an issue.
Usually they don't.
Yeah, usually it's like, no, we're fine, don't worry about it. Don't panic. Even if its so-called angel dragon character did not follow some of the guidelines and the phenotypes needed to be part of the telephone species, but it still looked very similar because its original intention was to belong to the species, some people decided they didn't want to meet the new criteria and they kept the original name of the species instead of reinventing the concept or make it their own or look unique to better establish the idea that they are separate species now. And more recently, some people decided to just take their duchies and turn it back into a normal angel dragon when they either left the community or there are still an overwhelming majority of duchies than there are normals, if you will. But out of all the questions we get asked, I think the difference between those two is the most common. So I really want to make sure I covered it thoroughly. The separation of two communities began, and the two groups typically have not gotten along very well. And this is commonly where any angel dragon related drama stems from. The worst part is because the two communities are always being mistaken for being the same thing. Oftentimes, a poor action of one group gets attributed to the other group unfairly.
Yeah.
Just keep
That's
in
where
mind,
I come in.
when someone mentions the word angel dragon, it does not automatically mean it's related to telephone or a species in any way. So now we're not here to tell you what you can or you cannot do with your own creative ideas and your characters. But if you do want to be a Dutch angel dragon, we do have to inform you of any issues that would prevent your character from being accepted by the community or being properly classified as the species that you're intending to join.
We're not trying to be mean. We're just
If you make a
trying to follow
character and you call it a Dutch angel dragon and then slap genitals on it, I'm sorry, it's just not a member of the species anymore. But you are more than welcome to take your endowed character and become a non-Dutch angel dragon.
Think about it this way.
And no real harm is done to us.
Think about it this way. Who here has played D&D? Or any? Excellent.
good.
So, have you ever tried to make
Nerd.
a level 99 character and expect the DM to be like, oh yeah, totally, you can play that? Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're kind of the DMs and you're playing in our story.
In our game. But if you
Think
don't
that
want to
way.
do that, please feel free to do whatever you wish with your character. But it would receive more positive response from the community if you made sure that you classified it as the right species. Because if there's one thing that upsets our community more than anything, it's someone blatantly disrespecting Eno and what the species stands for.
Yeah, they just.
Nonetheless, we do want to encourage as much as possible that the look and the feel of the Dutch angel dragon be preserved and separated from other species or concepts. We encourage, no matter what kind of artist you are, or perhaps are commissioning, that if you draw characters intended to be Dutch angel dragons, to look different from characters that are intended to be other kinds of Dutch angel dragons. Primarily, we encourage bringing out some of the more horse-like kind of features of the species, which aren't always apparent on the surface. But if you sit here and you're welcome to come up and read why all these bones are the way they are, it's because it's structured off of a horse. And we think that this will help encourage some more creativity and diversity on the normal angel dragon side, and promote a more recognizable look for Dutch angel dragon species, who, after all, are made of a list of specific traits and features that are found in all of the species' anatomy. So, to make a very, very long story short, Dutch angel dragons are a species with established lore and phenotypes. Normal angel dragons do not have phenotypes, nor anything universally in common with one another, other than being dragons of some sort. One describes a species, the other describes a concept. Yeah.
So to kind of add on to that, a Dutch angel dragon is classified by a list of phenotypes.
He stole them.
Normal angel dragons are not.
Yeah.
Normal angel dragons you can have look however you want, whatever like if you want to be inspired by a specific design, maybe change a couple colors on it and make sure that the other artist is okay with that. Awesome, go for it.
Yeah.
Please do, but make sure that it meets criteria and rules for our group.
You can play it
If
for
you
me.
do not wish to
Okay.
do that, we're not the police.
Yo, we have a special message from Eno.
Oh no.
Hello, everybody.
We record.
Go.
Perfect.
Okay.
I do want to say something real quick. Just to be completely honest here, I find it kind of hilarious when people are trying to make hybrids of Dutch angel dragons, because it's like you can practically do anything when it comes to like tails or like paws, hooves.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can give your
you
angel
can-
dragon a shark tail. It
yeah.
still can be a Dutch angel dragon.
I mean, like some people are like, yeah,
it
I'm
can't
gonna,
be a shark angel dragon hybrid though.
yeah. I mean, if
No,
you,
Dutch angel dragon.
if you want like a dog tail, like a fluffy tail that like curls, I mean, you can do that. I mean,
We try to make this really open and creative as
So-
possible.
It's a little bit hilarious to me when people are like, yeah, this is a hybrid of a Dutch angel dragon. This is like a
It's-
Dutch angel dragon with bat and all that stuff.
It's a
Like,
funny concept
No.
to have creativity with limits or with
Yeah.
rules, and that's what comes
And that's
most shocking to artists or to people who want to generate their own angel dragons. It's hard to tell somebody to be creative, but to stick within the guidelines. It's like trying to stay in the lines while scribbling on a piece of paper. You don't want to do that. We're
Yeah.
furries, but it's no, over the lines.
Yeah, so that is why a lot of people have chosen the other path rather than our species path, and that's totally fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah, we encourage diversity and creativity. If it's not for you, then I hope that you can take your character
Yes,
and just
this is-
enjoy the heck out of it in another way. So, what?
Is
What's
this the force now? You have two
Yeah.
cats? Really? You can have one in each community.
Can I
It's
be a
okay.
Grey Jedi?
Yes, join the Grey Jedis.
Okay. Oh, we're done. We're
Only Sith deals in absolutes.
That's right.
We're done with the anatomy and stuff. We have some amazing stuff about the community and stuff, so we can definitely
Yes,
talk
go,
about
go.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
so we want to talk about a little bit about the community side. We're almost at we're almost at 6,000.
6,000
Yeah,
members.
6,000 members on our official Dutch Angel Dragon community on Facebook.
Woo!
Yeah, that's amazing. It's overwhelming.
Well, that's why I was wanting that to be more.
It's representing. Who here is part of that community? Anybody? Yeah, awesome. Good. So you've probably seen us around.
Most of the people dressed as angel dragons.
Yeah,
actually.
most of them. Yeah. So we have a big presence on Facebook. We do a lot of stuff on Facebook. So like if there's any updates or anything like that, we usually just put it on Facebook first, and then everything else kind of follows along.
That's our home base.
Kind of afterwards. So it is our home base. We definitely encourage you, if you're not on the site, to check it out. It's really cool. It's nothing but sharing artwork, stories, ideas, designs, offering commissions, and buying commissions. It's currently our main base of operations. Okay. So sorry, I am like
You didn't
trying
write
to
this,
get
so.
off. Yeah, yeah.
Change that soon.
That's what's next.
But we started to hit the ceiling on the community here because we just have so many people, and there's just a lot of things that Facebook has limitations on, and we kind of like want to break free from that. So we have a brand new community site that's going to come up eventually soon.
It's the server side and tech side.
Yeah.
I'm working behind the scenes.
And so like the Facebook timeline format, it always shows posts in order of the most recent, and it always gets bumped up whenever it's liked and commented on, and it just everybody else gets bumped off, and it's
Buried,
just
just immediately.
it's just
Yeah.
terrible.
Facebook doesn't order the
Um,
posts right. If somebody comments on it, it immediately bumps it up to the top.
There's no way to sort it by
Yeah.
date, no sort it by popularity. There's just no
We
way
can't
to
tag
categorize it. You can't see only artwork or just like fursuits. It
Q&A,
sucks.
Yeah, and like there's no marketplace or anything.
You can only
like
have
that.
one pinned post at a time. I can't have like a land like I have no control.
There's like
It's driving me nuts.
There's like no way to even have admin posts either. So
Nope.
like if the admins want to stick something in like all the pinned posts and
It would
everything like that, they'll
replace
just
the
erase it.
rules and guidelines, which we can't replace.
Yeah,
Just because we
we
want to
can't
make a little
replace that.
announcement. Oh, I had to change the title of the panel or something. It's
Yeah.
really hard and then no one sees it. So
So-
Facebook has been frustrating for us.
Yeah, so because of all these limitations that we've had and because of the new website that we want to make, it also would require a lot of time and money, and we don't really have that. So at Anthrocon, not only did we make the announcement about moving to a new community website platform, but we also will be soon incorporating the idea of getting your Dutch Angel Dragon characters certified. That's not like a requirement, but it's a really super nice thing to have simply because, so like if somebody asks you like, hey, I'm a Dutch Angel Dragon and I'm like certified with this stuff, I mean, like,
Part of your wallet. You're legit.
I have mine. Hold on.
mine
He
is,
carries it with him.
I actually do.
Like a good little Dutch.
yeah, it's completely optional, let's see.
Yeah, completely optional.
However,
You
getting-
are a member, still a member of the species. You're
But-
still officially part of the species. Just because you get certified does not make you any less of a Dutch Angel Dragon. I want to
You're
make
just-
that clear.
Yeah, you're just gonna feel a lot more special. Yeah, there you go. However, getting your Dutch Angel Dragon certified means that you'll have the design personally reviewed by us
By Eno.
and Eno, and sent an official certificate in the mail signed by Eno herself. And we have like super awesome like sparkly stuff and like
Yeah.
The sparkly stuff.
do we have it? Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah,
we
this
also
is
have
an
the
actual
stamp.
stamped wax seal with the logo
We have a
on
wax
it.
We went all the way.
Yeah, because there's actually a side story here. Somebody has
Oh.
been sending text messages to some people
Oh.
saying that at Dutch Angel Dragon headquarters or whatever, we certify your Dutch Angel Dragon.
There was
And
some
we're like,
scam
"Who's
going around.
that?"
People were impersonating us.
Yeah,
So,
I'm gonna go ahead and.
People
and-
were like really afraid that their personal information has gotten leaked or something like that.
Yeah, so
It was like
don't believe it.
Yes,
Because we don't have
we
an
needed a-
HQ, okay?
Yeah,
Aside from the secret underground lair,
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Besides that,
but you should know about that.
it's where the scrolls are kept.
Yes, that is where the scrolls are kept. We're still translating them.
You'll also receive a laser engraved acrylic tag.
this is a mock a proof of concept.
Yeah, so it's just a concept right now, but we'll have something that looks a lot nicer.
We have a laser cutter now.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like acrylic. It's
have
gonna
it?
be something like this and like shiny and stuff,
Similar to this,
similar to that.
except for it's circular and has this design.
It has our
Here,
cute little
watch
face
this.
on it.
Do you have your
Like this.
Do you have your Icarus tag?
I had it. It's in the car, but
Yeah.
So they will be holographic.
we're hoping to get
We're hoping to get
holographic acrylic. It's really hard to get our hands on it, but we're
It's
trying.
very
Yeah,
expensive.
try. Let's see. Lastly, your Dutch Angel Dragon will be given its own page and listed on the official website in a catalog system for people to see. So like if
Like to browse and read through different people's characters.
yeah, so like this is what the certification comes into play because you're like legitimately official, so people will actually know who you are. You're gonna like have a name. You have a.
It's
you
for
have
like
things.
serious fans only.
Yeah,
It's like getting the VIP tickets at the concert to have the full
Yeah,
experience.
it's like sponsor and super sponsor when buying con tickets.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
You
make
can
a
still
big
be part of the
donation
con.
of the con, you get sweet swag in return.
Yeah.
It's like a win-win for both.
The more you
Yeah.
deliver to the con, the more the con delivers back.
You.
So think of it that way.
Yeah, so tentatively, it's about $50 right now. We're still thinking about it, so don't take that. Just take it with a grain of salt. And all proceeds will currently be given towards the expenses of the website at the time until we have the website up and running and
Yes.
really smooth and all
Hosting-
that.
It will be a never-ending project, essentially.
Providing the domain cost about $15 per year, but actually hosting the database is
Depending on
about
the size.
$55 a month.
Yeah.
So it gets
And
a
then
little
you're like,
expensive.
oh, I need more speed, I need more bandwidth, I need more
Yes.
storage space.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
6,000 members to potentially transfer over here, so.
Yeah, it's going to be a process. We have to do it pretty much one
I want
at
a beautiful
time.
catalog system.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yes. I want a way to have artists be able to have their work being seen, make a marketplace essentially, where people can buy, sell, and trade stuff over here, and they can talk about their hobbies over here and connect with people and learn new things. And it's just,
Right.
but Facebook
So it
doesn't allow
doesn't-
that.
so it doesn't
We
get
want
lost.
this community to be as awesome as possible, so
Yeah.
that is our current plan.
We are really excited to see so much continued enthusiasm and support from the community, and we thank all of you for wandering into this little corner of the hotel to hear us talk your ear off. We want to do a quick photo shoot and meet and greet. Do we have time for questions? Or
Well,
Question.
the thing is, on the schedule, there is nothing for the next hour listed after this, a half hour, I guess, listed in this room.
You can run over.
Thank you. I was gonna say, we need to like verify with a member of staff.
I'm the events manager.
I'm so glad
Ah,
you did that.
ah,
Thank you.
well.
We like, yeah, because a lot of times that can be swung, but I didn't want to promise anything. So
Yeah.
we can have a little bit of time for Q&A. We don't want them to like take up any more of your time, but if there's some like dying, burning questions you want to ask an admin, we are here, and we will be happy to also talk to you after the panel thing.
Yeah.
Yes, if
We
it's
are available all con.
I'm
so
in the Jules
if you
room.
want, if
She's
you
in
think
the
of a
room.
question
You'll find us.
afterwards, I will be available anywhere. When I'm in suit, I probably won't be able to answer things for you because I'll be in character.
Jeez.
So,
But then no one will find it. No, they know your face now.
well, everybody knows what I look like, so that's why I
She's the
actually have my
short
head off. I have my head off for this very reason, as well as I can't really talk in there
Is there a
because nobody
ribbon
can hear
around your
me.
neck? Sorry, old folklore.
Anyways, so if anybody has a question afterwards, you are more than welcome to ask me after. Unless I'm in suit, don't come up to me, I'll be in character. So, yeah.
You'll just get squeaked at.
If you communicate in squeaks, then that'll work for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Any quick questions?
Question.
Be my friend.
Oh, you can friend us on Facebook.
You have a
No,
question.
not all.
Do they have like a corporeal form that they can use to interact with our plane of existence? Or would
Yes.
they
It'll take a lot of energy to do it, but yes.
Yeah, only Grandmaster Angel Dragons can master such a form, essentially.
Also, you can think like ghosts, like children and animals can have like a little bit deeper sense with the other side than like adults. And
So
other
certain people may be more attuned to being able to see angel dragons than others. They're more gifted, or whatever.
Yeah.
They have more better connection with the other realms. So they might be able to actually experience seeing physical duchies when no one else around them can.
Yeah.
can they move between dimensions?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
They can.
what's like is there lore behind like them not being able to go
There
into-
is. I will-
Specifically with the Abyss. That one's the easiest one to accidentally slip away to. This one is actually his realm. He
Okay.
mentioned most of the stuff about the Abyss.
So,
Go.
I mentioned a bunch of things before about you have the Aether, you have Terra, you have the Abyss, you have Paradise. The relationship between these four is they're all technically different dimensions. Terra, you can think about it as dimension 3, tangible objects that you can touch and move around, right? The other ones really don't have a number per se. Think of the Aether as the catalyst between Paradise and the Abyss. The Paradise, as the term may suggest, it is a nice place to be, and the Abyss is kind of
Not
not
that
a good place to be. One represents order, the other one represents chaos, and while I do understand the physics behind chaos and order and chaos theory, I
Physics
think
does
that
not matter.
Physics does not apply here.
It's magic.
Yes, it's magic, just magic done. It's all a dream. Anyway, so the catalyst of the Aether is nothing and is everything. That's where there was a particular conflict that actually happened in the battlefield of the Aether. Are there buildings in the Aether? Maybe. Maybe not. Is there can Aether expand time and space? Maybe. Maybe not. It is the catalyst between 3 different places, and it can be as thin as paper, or it can be the expanse of the universe. Who knows?
It could be anything you want it to be.
Kind of. It's. I mean, if you think about like the dream world. Let's say you have a dream. How expansive is the dream?
It can be anything.
You tell me. how deep was it? So it plays on those concepts, where you have the connecting bridges between paradise and Terra, and maybe at some point that bridge was lost, or you lost the key card to that particular hotel room, and there's no front desk to get back in.
Yeah.
Next
So
question.
next question.
Next question. Anybody? Anybody?
No.
And yes, you.
I forgot my question. Do you know what it is?
Maybe you'll find it in the Aether.
Yes.
The answer's out there.
The answer
Do you
is
have a
out there.
question?
Yeah, in the Angel Dragon world, how is an Angel Dragon like
Born.
born? Yeah.
Perfect. Got this.
That's beautiful. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So
He
Angel
really is
Dragons-
mostly backstory guy. You
Yeah.
believe it.
It's part of the backstory thing, but we're figuring it out. Okay.
So what we know right now, what we
From
know
the ancient scrolls.
from the
From the
scrolls,
scrolls.
what we know.
Scrolls?
Yeah. See, yes, we were able to translate these for. Okay. So when you have 2 angel dragons that are, let's say, in romance, they don't exactly have the biology available to mate like we do. What they do is, because they're energy, they are forms of energy, they meld their energies together, then there happens to be an observable nova or supernova where then the parents split off into opposite directions, and what's left in the middle, instead of a black hole, is an egg. And that egg is what can stay around for centuries.
We're still thinking
or-
about the concept of the egg, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
the
actually,
concept of
you know,
egg is
just
still
came up
there.
with a few like really cool new ideas that tie this whole crazy plot with a backstory
It's
together.
okay,
The
It's
kids
But
are
like, yeah,
oh
it's
my
like
god,
we
it's
know.
so cool.
right now. With
That's-
like egg.
That's what we know.
Yeah, that's all we know
That is
right
what
now.
we know.
You should definitely be like staying tuned and looking forward to a lot of. We want to be able to trickle some of these updates out a lot. Eno's writing a book, so you can't spoil the plot of a movie or a book, all at once. We want to make sure that there's some sort of element of mystery and guessing, and eventually
Yes.
you could read the book to. Like,
Our
the whole
scholars have discovered a lot, but we don't have the full story. We have a lot of gray patches.
And the best thing about this is that it's ever constantly changing based on interactions and ideas and suggestions from the community. You would have never thought of all the things that could possibly be out there until somebody suggested, hey, can I make a duchy with 2 mouths? How would that make sense? Why would you do? And then suddenly you have an idea. They can come together to create new life. What if they accidentally couldn't come apart?
It actually
It does happen,
actually-
and that
yeah, it
became
does
lore.
happen.
That became fact.
Yeah, there are actually Dutch angel dragons out there that have 2 mouths or have 2 faces. I mean, they're not completely split apart because that wouldn't really go with the anatomy here. But when you have 2 faces, it's kind of like a mutation in the real world where they just didn't quite split properly, and so they just got kind of stuck there. So
Yeah.
it just happens.
Yeah, that's what's been just the coolest thing ever is just yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll shut it off.
The stuff that people come up with is incredible.
There.
Like,
I shut it off.
there's so many things. I wish I could say more, but a lot of it isn't finalized. I wouldn't want to say one thing and then take it back the next day.
Don't know it yet.
We don't know.
Okay, I mean we don't know it yet.
You know nothing.
We're still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Deciphering the scrolls.
All right.
They're horrible role players, clearly. God.
Not like we work with you every other Friday. Not
Yeah.
or anything. I don't do it right now.
You don't LARP.
No,
you don't LARP
no,
as
you
much as
don't.
I'm an adult.
we LARP. I'm sorry.
All right.
All right.
Any other questions?
Because we would absolutely love to open this to be like a, hey, let's get together, well, I definitely want a picture of all the suitors, and I did take one selfie of the whole room, but I think we could do a better one. Be like, we are here!
Yay.
We are here.
And then we kind of want to just meet and greet, break into groups, learn about each other's characters, talk about your cool and favorite moments with telephone, whatever.
Question.
Real question?
Yes.
Are the scrolls hard to read? How's the translating going?
The translate.
it's
We have a
slow.
team of scholars on it that are going between tablets and going between scrolls and figuring out the ancient peoples that really knew them best, who are wiped off the planet. We don't. They kind of went the way of the Egyptians. We don't know.
The language is a bit difficult to decipher.
Yes.
Are these tablets Microsoft or Apple?
Linux. Punch cards. No, they're stone, clay, and emerald tablets.
Yes. We just finalized like all the United stuff literally like weeks before Anthrocon, which just
We had
happened.
another one right there, I believe.
So
Yes, you.
we are unraveling the mystery slowly but surely.
Huh?
Yes.
Why are you using technology to read scrolls?
Well,
The future is now.
That depends, because you can either have a computer compute, let's say, 2,000 characters a second, or I can do it 20 a minute.
yeah.
They have like a civilization at one point, like social hierarchy, things
Um,
like that.
We still haven't figured that out.
We
yet.
found. We found.
We haven't figured it out. They haven't deciphered it yet.
Read the script.
God damn.
We might have uncovered something of a social structure. We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
We certainly know that they love to mimic noises that they like.
Yes. I don't remember who had their hand up. Go
They
for it.
don't always squeak.
Are there any
No, they do
angel?
not always squeak.
No.
Are there any angel dragons that are also hipsters?
Oh hell yeah.
How do Dutch angel dragons get their names?
That is actually a really good question. Typically, I mean, actually, this is actually an interesting thing. The name, Telephone's name is not Telephone. Telephone has a true name. Telephone is the name that human civilization has given to her because she sounds like a telephone. Terrarians. I like that word.
Terrarians.
Terrarians.
Yeah.
They're just Terran? Okay.
Right. They're more like common language descriptions that embody or encompass the essence of that dragon. It's put into human tongue, if you will.
It would make sense for my backstory too, because
We don't have the
I'm a
proper
Terrarian.
facial anatomy to speak their real names.
Yeah.
So what happens when we Terrarians mistake them for the same name? Say there's one Dutch angel dragon, say S'more, and another one is S'more.
They're both s'more.
Yeah, they're both s'mores.
S'mores?
It's just,
Just
yeah,
like
everybody has the same name.
We have at least 4 voodoos that I'm aware of, and voodoo is one of our admins.
Okay.
I know there's another clique around.
Yes, there is another clique.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't find another phantom.
Cool. Then you get to be. I love the new panda, by the way.
Thank
Just
you.
your suit is adorable.
Thank you so much.
Every time we walk by, we're just like, don't you want to?
I saw a hand wiggle. Was that a hand wiggle? Was that a question?
Hi.
No? Okay. I saw movement.
Any more?
It is 7:30.
What? Go.
I was just saying that I was walking around the booths trying to get your attention half the time.
Oh, it worked.
I was like,
Hi. Hi. Somebody leave.
Squeak. Squeaking.
Squeak. Squeakity, squeak, squeakins.
That was the cutest.
and I'm not even
Squeak,
an angel
squeak,
dragon.
You traitor.
Traitor.
Wicked bees!
I actually want one eventually.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, right? Anyway, do you have a question or no?
Oh, no.
No, okay, just okay.
Nosy.
Before our angel dragon suitors leave, I want to get a picture of them.
Yeah.
Take a picture. Do it. I'm a suitor too.
Okay. Do we have a photographer?
What's up?
How are we gonna take the picture?
I figured just like over here in the corner for like specifically super
Okay.
people.
Alright. Alright.
But we can either try it like self-promote unless somebody doesn't want to be in the picture and is volunteering to be cameraman.
I'm not even gonna put my paws on.
Just put your hands behind your back.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I'll do too. Lazy.
Too much work.
There.
not naked.
Now. And then Dutch angel dragon.
I don't want people to
Oh,
keep thinking that I'm an angel dragon,
It's like a
so
gang
I'm not
sign
gonna be
now.
able to-
Live the moment here and now. It's gonna go around to people.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
no. What have
this
you,
new
what
sign.
have you done?
It's a new sign.
I want a picture of everybody doing this.
Cameraman now. Okay.
Cameraman.
Who is gonna volunteer? I could be
I
cameraman.
can be
if I have to.
cameraman.
You can be cameraman?
Sure.
I'll be a second
Okay, we
cameraman.
have
Sarah's the
Kirsty.
cameraman. Do I have?
Bye from.
This has actually been a pretty fun panel.
So I won't be in the picture.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably those.